Hi there, my name is Emily, and this is Found in Art. We are in our final week of February 2024, and I am so happy to be here with you tonight. Just a little update in case you're watching this replay, and for those of you who are joining me live, all of March is going to be pre-recorded. I've already done them, and they are so freaking good. Oh, I'm so proud of them. I'm so happy how they are. So I think you should definitely watch them. Obviously, I mean, you're here, you're paying for it. Why not, right? So let's do everything we usually do. First, we are going to do some like stretches, some big stretch. Actually, I need to stand up and stretch. So we're going to stand up and stretch tonight. And then we're going to do our meditation, and then we're going to do our art. Remember, for our art, you're going to need paper, watercolor, your watercolor brushes, and you're going to need a black marker. I have a fine tip here. If you have like a Sharpie, that would work. And if you have like a felt tip, that would be fine. Or just like a thick black marker. A pencil will also work if you don't have a marker. Don't use Crayola because they could bleed a little bit, but like a thick pencil would be great. So I'm going to show you what we're doing. We're doing this tonight. I am excited about it. I thought it was fitting to do the last part of the last class in February as one of our ode to love. So we're going to be doing something super similar to this, and I am so excited. So let's get started. We're going to stand up. Are you ready? Just like a short stretch today, because I've decided that we need to keep these classes a teensy bit shorter. We're stretching our hips, by the way. We need to keep the classes a little shorter because we all have a lot going on, and 7:30 at night is super late. And I would love it if we were all in bed by 9, which means we have like 45 minutes to an hour to do the class. And then we can all have time for our nighttime routines, like our nighttime skincare routines, and we can go to bed. So it's gonna be awesome. That's my new goal. Oh, stretch out your arms, stretch out your body, do some shaking. I am wearing a sweater because I don't know if it's cold in my office or it's been because I'm listening to the wind all day, making me feel cold. Oh, oh. Okay. Yes. Okay, I feel like that's good enough. And now we're gonna do some chair stretchies. You ready? I think we are. Gonna roll our shoulders back, head to the side, to the other side. Again. Okay. Got some like kinks in my shoulders right now. I don't think we're gonna get them out. Let's do one big stretch backwards. Remember that one time I did this and my chair broke? That was fun. That might have been you know what, you're right. It wasn't during the live. It was during the chat we do afterwards. So if you're here live, thank you. And we will do our little chat afterwards because why not? Okay. Let's do meditation. Actually, finger stretches. Like do some stretchy fingers. And before we do our meditation, I want you to like do some face rubs, get any itchy things or like tickles, get those out of your system. Okay. It is time. So I invite you to close your eyes with me. And as you close your eyes, we're going to just start taking really deep breaths. We breathe in with our, like, we breathe in and we fill up our stomach. My pants are too tight. And as we exhale, we like let all the air out. So we're not filling up our chest. We are filling up our stomach and letting it out. Okay? Okay. So let's get started. Deep breaths. Make sure you're in a comfortable seated position. You might want to rock side to side. Make sure your hips are in a nice place for sitting the whole time. Take some deep breaths. If your pants are too tight, yeah, mine were. And take some deep breaths. Oh man. Okay. One more deep breath. Want you to focus inward. We're going to look into your heart right now. I want you to see some places that you are maybe wounded, that are connected to how you love yourself. Maybe you see some wounds in your capability to love your body, your capability to love your thoughts, your ideas, the things that make you you, your actions, your emotions. Maybe there are things surrounding those that you just feel a lot of hurt and brokenness around, like you're not fully capable of loving these things. Maybe there's even things about you, yourself, your being that you like actively dislike. I'm not going to say hate because that's a really strong word, but you'll know the feeling you're feeling. And I want you to just sit with that for a minute. Take a deep breath in and out. Sorry, my eyes are so itchy. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. So one more. In and out. Okay. Now from your heart, I want you to drop into your sacral womb area. I want you to just look around. I want you to see that this is where your power lives. Now we're going to see a small seed that is attached to your sacral womb area. It is just there. That is where it belongs. And it is wiggling. We're going to take a deep breath in and out. We are going to have it start growing down. Deep breath in and out. There it goes. It is shooting through the chair, through your floorboards, through your basement, into the earth. And it is just shooting down and down and down. And as it's going down, you notice tendrils just going out. There are tendrils growing everywhere. And they are just spanning and reaching far. And as they are going, take a deep breath and out. These tendrils are touching so many things. It's touching trees, it's touching mycelium networks, touching mushrooms. It's touching like grasses and flowers and veggie plants and fruit plants. It's touching everything. And as it goes further out, you find a mountain, like you find trees on a mountain, and your tendrils are growing up, and you're like, oh my gosh, how are you even standing here? There's no dirt. And you're just going and going and going, and it never stops. You just keep reaching out and you keep finding new and different things, new, different, unique things. And it is beautiful. It is beautiful. You take a deep breath in and out. In and out. I want you to just see the things you've touched. the things that your roots have found that are also grounded into this earth. In and out. Do you see the similarity between every single thing you've touched? There are two things. One, they are all rooted into this earth. They are created perfectly and they are beautiful. Two, not a single one is the same. Breathe in and out. The trees don't care if they are crooked. The trees don't care if they are fat or skinny. They are all strong. They are all worthy of being trees. They are all capable of growing branches. Breathe in and out. The roots go deep in all of these things. They find strength in all of them. They find strength in the earth. They get everything they need from the earth. Breathe in and out. In and out. And as you come back into yourself, I'm going to take some more deep breaths. In and out. In and out. When you're ready, I ask you to join me back in this space and open your eyes. And I'm going to pause the video really quick so that I can move my setup so we can get some art going. So make sure you get your space ready as you join me back in this place. Just a moment. Okay, so as I showed you earlier, here is our art for tonight, and it's a pretty fun process. You do want to make sure you have a hairdryer. That's pretty important. So let's go ahead and get started. First things first is I'm going to use a pencil to lightly sketch this heart. You don't have to use a heart, but as we are in the final week of February, I think it's fun to still focus in on that love and the self-love that we saw tonight. So I'm going to sketch a heart. I'm going to make it bigger than this one. My little one. Okay, I'm back. So I'm going to draw a taller heart than I did last time. Whatever paper you're using, just get it to fit your heart. You can keep some open space if you want, no big deal. Remember, this is for you. You don't have to have it be for anybody else. To make mine a little easier, more even, I'm drawing 2 dots. I'm just gonna sketch it out. Okay, that's pretty good. And I sketched it out, but I am incapable of doing things super light. So I'm gonna go in and erase it a little bit. The baby is back. I'm gonna erase it, maybe. There it is. So that I can see it, but that you can't see it through the watercolor because you cannot erase pencil once you have painted over it. Just cannot be done. Okay, you can still see it too, I think. All right, so there it is. And first step after we do this is to wet down our heart. So I'm going to go around the edges first, and you want this fairly wet. In fact, we'll probably have to re-wet it later. If you're using regular paper, not watercolor paper, you're going to want to work in small sections, because if you do the whole thing wet, your paper's just going to roll, and that is not fun. So if you're working in regular paper, just do one little section, and then I'll show you how to paint it, and then you can just wet down as you go along. This paper I'm using is watercolor paper. It's like 145-pound watercolor. 140? I think so. And it can handle quite a lot of water. I'm getting it all wet. I'm pretty excited because this is the last page of my sketchbook, and I've never filled one on purpose intentionally before. And this is a really fun thing for me. Okay, so this is all wet. You can see it's shiny. I'm going to go into my colors, and in this one I used oranges and pinks. This one, Savannah requested that I do reds and yellows. Oops, something just popped up on my computer. I don't know how to get, there we go. Now, this one I used oranges and pinks. Savannah requested I use blues and greens and purples. So I'm going to do blues and purples and see how I feel. Okay, I can use my favorite purple color, and I'm just going to go, my paintbrush is very saturated with water and very saturated with color. Now I'm just going to go right along the edge over here where it's already wet. And I'm going to add actually more water like this. I'm going to work pretty quickly. I'm not going to rinse the color off. I was just picking up some more water. I'm going to do some up here. You could do it anywhere you want. We're going to work pretty rapidly. Because we don't want it to dry on us, okay? And I'm going to do 4 of this one because I really, really love this color purple. For this project, I would stick with either warm colors or light colors. I mean warm colors or cool colors, just because they are going to mush together a little bit and you don't want anything turning a muddy brown. I do have a tendency of dragging my hand through these, so I'm going to try not to do that. Okay, now I'm going to go in with this blue color. And I'm going to overlap a teensy bit. Oops, that's not blue. How did I even think I was going in the right one? Okay, now blue. They find strength in all, and they find strength in the earth. They get everything they need from the earth. Breathe in and out. Okay, now blue. I'm gonna do a couple splotches of blue, this blue. Maybe one more of this. I really like it. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with this teal color, my favorite teal. That is in this palette. Not my favorite teal all over, but just in this palette. I'm gonna put it right next to my blue. Gonna get it really wet. Okay. Gonna get another purple on purpose this time. Right? Nope, that's not purple. That's blue. Apparently I just can't see today. Okay, now purple, because I only have one spot left. Okay, if there's any spots that you want to bleed together more, like that right there, I don't like that line. So I'm going to take this original purple color and just mush it up over here. And I'm kind of correcting the edge while I'm doing this. I just want a really nice clean edge. Okay. I want this kind of spread out some more. It's too dark. And I'm going to go in with this purple right here. More purple. Just going over it. I'm layering it up where I want the things. Get some more blue down here. Okay, like that. And I am going to let it dry. Just kidding. I'm definitely using my hairdryer because, as you probably know, I'm impatient as heck. And we are in a time crunch here. So thinking here. Excellent. I'm going to mute and pause the video. Well, yes. And then we'll be right back. Okay, so I have it dried. If there are any spots you don't like, feel free to like touch them up. I would probably touch up this area because I'm not loving that blue, but I also just am not going to care right now, to be quite honest. So now it's time for the next step. And the next step is where we are going to chill out and just zone out and kind of just think about all the things that we saw in meditation and kind of just focus in on our heart and the spots that are hurting. So you're going to get your fine tipped marker or a thick pencil. That works too. If you have your phone, I'm going to show you what you can Google for some reference photos. You are going to Google fine line flowers. So you're going to Google fine line flowers and you're just going to click one. And you're just going to kind of see some reference ideas that you could use. Find some that you think are easy-ish, but beautiful. You could do all dandelions, you could do all sorts of stuff. Just to kind of get an idea. Okay. So there's some ideas for you. You do not have to make them perfect. If you want to do just like the floop, 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 I'll show you really quick. This style of flower, you absolutely can. I will not stop you. I think that's great. If you just want to do leaves, because that's what's easier for you. If you just want to do hearts, because hearts are easy and you can draw lots of little hearts in there, absolutely fine. You do what is comfortable for you and doesn't make you think too hard or get worried too much. Here's a really simple one. Ooh, simple one. Like this. You could absolutely do that. Super easy. So whatever fine line flowers you like, we're going to work with them. Okay. So I am going to start with my marker. We do not need to do outline tracing of anything first because it doesn't matter. These are just for us. This is just for us to process through our feelings about the places in our hearts that are kind of hurting about who we are. And so we can process that together. So let's get started. All right. I am going to start up here in this corner so I'm not dragging my hand through everything all the time and so that I can kind of build where I want things to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw a vine actually, because I like how the vine ties everything together. Okay, so I have a vine that goes all the way around, and I'm just going to add some leaves. And I am drawing the leaves on these all the same direction because I didn't do that over here and I wished I would have. Okay, we ready to keep going? I want you to take some deep breaths. And I want you to get super relaxed and comfortable and let any of your hurts come out of your pencil, your marker, okay? We are healing our heart with flowers today. So let's do this. First thing I'm going to show you how to do for these flowers is this kind right here, okay? You start with just, I'm going to go closer, a little squiggle here, and do a squiggle on this side, okay? And then you're just going to do more squiggles. And your squiggles are never going to line up perfectly. And as you go towards the outside, your squiggles are going to get kind of bigger and more petal-like. Eventually they'll stop. And then I like to add some little lines on my petals. You don't have to add these little lines, but I like adding them because I just think it adds a little bit more like character, some depth to them. Okay, so there's that one. I'm gonna make this center dark. I may regret this, but I'm gonna see. I think I like that. Maybe. Maybe. Okay. Next, I'm gonna show you another super simple little flower. You start with a dot. Then you do a little wonky triangle. We're gonna do 4 of these little wonky triangles. Sometimes I can only fit 3 in, but never 5. I'm just going to put 2 little marks like this. And that is the beginning of a hydrangea. So this kind of looks like a peony or a rose. This one is going to look like a hydrangea. But to make it look like a hydrangea, you have to put a bunch of them together. So I'm going to make one go from here. And because this is the edge, You're only going to see a couple of them. This one only has 3. This one has a weird 4. I'm just going to make a bunch of these. If you want to, you can join me. Make sure while you're drawing these, you're taking deep breaths. Contemplating your life. Thinking about how wonderful and amazing and worthy and lovable you are. I think that's enough of those for now. I'll probably add them again in another place. Next thing we're going to do is a little daisy. So I'm going to do that right here. I'm going to start with a circle. You can do a bigger circle if you want, but I want a small one for this. You're going to draw some pretty big petals, and I point the ends of my daisy petals. This one I ran right into other flowers, so I couldn't. Sometimes when I draw these, they get kind of wonky, and that's just something I have to live with. I don't know why it always happens, but it literally always happens. So like I'm gonna have to draw one here. I have to layer them a little. Okay. And then I'm gonna do the circle dark in the middle, which I guess I just made it bigger anyways. And then I like to do little lines like this again. Oop, I think that might have been a little damp because my marker's being funky now. I'm really sorry if you can hear my kids screaming. It's been a weird day. And I'm going to do some on these that I put in this box. I'm going to pause the video real quick while I have a intruder. Okay, I'm back. My tiny intruder has been satisfied with Spider-Man on TV. So let's do some more flowers. The next one I'm going to show you is this one. It's one of my current favorites. It's a cone flower. If you don't like the tip of the cone, you don't have to. You can just leave it be like a circle. No big deal. So let's do this one over here. I start by drawing the cone. Oops, that was thick. And then it's the same type of petal as these, except a lot thinner. And sometimes I forget to make them a lot thinner. And they just turn out wonky. And that's no big deal. Because again, perfectionism doesn't exist. I'm going to add one on this side out here. I'm going to add one more right here. Maybe two more over here, actually. And then up here, I'm actually going to draw circles right along the edge. And then I'm going to fill it in. That looks like the seeds of the coneflower. And then what we do is we add a little bit of line making right here. Lines from the top and the bottom to add some dimension. You know, it'd be really cool. I was just thinking if you did your heart in dark colors and then you did this part with a gel pen. I currently don't have a reliable gel pen, but like, how cool would that be? So cool. Okay, so there we go. There's that coneflower. I'm gonna pull this back a little bit again. And now, should we do a dandelion? So dandelions are really interesting because there's so many teeny tiny little lines with little seeds on top that it's really hard to replicate in real life, and that's fine. But sometimes we want the perfectionism what a real dandelion looks like, but they just get muddled. So you have to do a simplified version of a dandelion. You pick a little, like a little spot, a circle, okay? Make it as big or as little as you want. And I'm actually just going to darken it up right now. And then you just do a ton of little lines. You can do like this one over here. I did very intentional lines, and I don't love that. Lots of little lines. And then I'm going to do them with the seeds on top, not the flower poofs. And I'm going to put some seeds in the middle where we don't have any lines too. I have a friend who wants me to draw her a dandelion tattoo. And I'm a little nervous because they're not as simple as they seem. And like, that's permanent. I don't want to mess it up. It makes me nervous. I'm gonna draw a couple of longer ones out here. But, you know, sometimes there's some long stragglers. Okay, so there's that. Now, if you want, why is it turning like if you want, I experimented with some stems over here. You can do that over here too. Like maybe you want your dandelion to have a really long stem. You can absolutely do that. If you want to add a oh, I'm trying to freehand a dandelion. I don't know what I just did. I'm trying to freehand a dandelion leaf, and it is failing epically, but that's okay. We can cover it up with another flower if we want, or we leave it and it just gets lost in it, and it's no big deal. Okay. Another option to fill space, which is pretty awesome in my opinion, is one of these little, I'm gonna do it right here. Circles like this. Oops, you can't see down there. I'm sorry. All right. So let's fill in our flowers. And Oh, I was going to show you this one. It's just like these ones, but with rounded flowers. So I'll make that one next. And it's going to be awesome. And then we'll just take time, like 10 minutes to just fill in our drawing. Okay. So I'll do this one really quick. I'm going to turn this so I can do it better. And it starts with a triangle. And then I just do like that. I don't think that one went out far enough. I messed that one up, but that's okay. And then you fill in the face here with little line. Oh my gosh, you can't. Little lines. I need to readjust so this is straight for you guys. Like that. It's kind of harder to see on some of these darker colors. So for that, I apologize. I'm going to add some lines to the tip of this daisy. Okay. And I think I'm going to just go in and add a whole bunch of these hydrangea flowers because I think that would be beautiful. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Don't forget to breathe in and out. For everything that you found in your heart that felt broken about where you're at right now, or like physically or emotionally, or just some damage from a long time ago, I want you to just sit with it and keep reminding yourself, like a daily mantra, that I am capable, I am lovable, and I am worthy. So often we are told that we are not worthy of love without doing something first. And that is just simply not true. You don't have to do anything to be loved. You existing on this planet with a God who created us, like, is just love. You just being, you existing is enough. You are loved. You are lovable. You are love. I promise I'm not crying. I just have a very stuffy nose. I don't like that one. It looks silly, but it gets to stay. I kind of feel like making one of these hearts with just these little flowers in there. My hand would definitely cramp up, but like how beautiful. Okay, let's do this for about 5 more minutes. I want another cone flower. Okay, I like that. Instead of a cone flower, I'm gonna do a daisy on its side. Which I am not loving, to be honest. Not doing a good job here. Eh, good enough. That feels like much more of a rough draft than I had intended. Oops. Okay. I think I want some leaves here. Um, okay. That's great. This is great. I'm going to add a couple more of these right here. There's like a coming out of the edge type of thing. And that one got, it looks like Squidward. It got all funky. More here. Okay. Yes. Over here. What do we think? What do you think of yours? How's it look? How's it going? I think this is pretty awesome. I am loving it. So, if you're kind of live, you can stick around if you want for the like 5-ish, 5, 7, 10 tops minute chat afterwards. We can chat and like show each other our pictures. And if you are here for the replay, thank you so much for being here and just know how much I appreciate you spending your time with me. And you can share your work with me on Instagram or like through my email or threads. You can tag me. It's awesome. You're beautiful and you're amazing. You are worthy and you are lovable. Have an amazing evening.